Welcome to NYC Health Hospitals, Kings County's YouTube podcast. This is 25 Questions with Brian Young. He's the Director of Clinical Nutrition Services here at our hospital. How are you?
Good, thanks. Happy to be here.
Let's begin. Number one, what do you love most about your job?
So I think what I like most about my job is being able to share all my experiences and everything that I've learned as a clinical dietitian with our team. So this is my first management role. Prior to this, I worked as a staff dietitian for about 7 years, covering ICUs, surgical floors, rehab. So I think I've learned a lot of things in my day. I will say, we do have a very experienced team, so they already have a good, solid foundation. But taking this new role, a new challenge for me professionally, has been rewarding so far. It's definitely been a new experience, but I like being involved in nutrition care at a higher level. But working with my team is great. They're a great bunch. I'm really happy to be here.
Number two, where are you from?
Originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Number three, who were your childhood idols?
So, childhood idols, I always grew up admiring Clark W. Griswold. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's a fictional character. The father on the National Lampoon's Vacation series. Yes. Played by Chevy Chase. So, always been a huge comedy fan. I grew up watching Saturday Night Live, and Chevy Chase, was one of the original members. And growing up watching the National Lampoon's Vacation movies, I just love. He's a family man, which I always admired, and always looking out for his family, doing the best he can to, show them a good time, at least in the movies. But I got a kick out of him, so he still kind of is my someone I look up to.
Number four, what are your hobbies?
So I like exercising. I like biking in particular. So we have a young daughter, and we just got a child bike seat. So yesterday we took her out for our first bike ride. But getting out into the park. So biking, running, hanging out, having a picnic. That's what I like to do. So basically, being outside is what I like to do.
Number five, what did you want to be when you were a kid?
So when I was a kid, I wanted to be like a zoologist or a marine biologist or something to that effect. I grew up loving animals and being really interested in wildlife. So that was kind of what I imagined my first job would be, was a zoologist.
Number six, what was your favorite class in school?
Art, for sure. I always had a talent for drawing and painting and stuff like that. So my art classes were definitely always my favorite.
Number seven, pancakes or waffles?
I got to go with pancakes.
Number eight, what is your all-time favorite song?
My all-time favorite song, that's a tough one, but I'm probably gonna have to say it's a song by the band. They're a classic rock group from the 60s and 70s. A song called "The Wait."
Sorry, let's get pause. I was just getting into this. I want to hear about The Wait. I think it's the Samsung. Were you hearing it loud in the back?
Not loud, but I could hear it kind of puffing.
So for everything we did?
No. It's just that one song in particular kind of cuts through. So let's just go from the same question.
All right, so we're back to favorite song. And you were trying to tiptoe.
Yeah, I tried.
Okay, number eight. What is your all-time favorite song?
So I think my favorite song will have to be a song by a group called The Band. They're a classic rock group from the 60s and 70s, kind of located in upstate New York around the Catskills. They have a song called "The Wait." and it was featured in the movie Easy Rider with Jack Nicholson and Peter Fonda. But there's just a scene where they're driving on their motorcycles through the Southwest United States, and it's just a really, it's a beautiful scene, and the song is great, and it's a, kind of a classic rock song. So I'm going to say that one.
Number 9, what is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie would probably have to be. It is a older film by a director, Stanley Kubrick. It's called The Killing. It's about a group of bank robbers who devised this kind of elaborate heist to knock over a horse track. It's good because Stanley Kubrick is a really good director in that he gets you to cheer for these bad guys, right? But you're so kind of, it's very gripping and intense, and you find yourself like rooting for these guys to pull it off, yet they're crooks, So, but it's a really well directed, well acted. The dialogue is razor sharp. It's a really good movie. It's called The Killing because they try to like make a killing on this heist.
Make a killing. Not killing.
No.
Okay. Number 10, what's your favorite healthy meal?
Favorite healthy meal, anything with beans in it, any kind of like bean dish. So I think for me, between, as far as protein goes, beans and fish are probably the 2 best proteins we can eat. So I try to eat beans in some way for lunch every day. So whether it's like, a bean salad or like a bean chili or, bean soup, anything like that. But beans for sure. They got a lot of protein, a lot of fiber. They're dirt cheap. So beans for sure.
Number 11, what's a food that people think is healthy but really isn't?
I'm going to have to say granola bars because it has this kind of association of, it's healthy, it's all natural. It's really, they have a lot, most granola bars on the market have a lot of sugar. It's kind of like eating, it's like dessert almost. It's all, just kind of in the same category as like a cookie or something like that. So you're, not to call out any brands or anything like that. Not to call out any brands or anything, but a lot of the big name brands on the market, they're not as good as we think.
Interesting. Number 12, what is your favorite vacation destination?
Hawaii. My dad's side of the family, they're all native Hawaiians, so I grew up going to Hawaii. It's just a beautiful place to be. It's this chain of islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's warm, but it doesn't feel hot. There's always a breeze through it in the air. The people are amazing. It's got great food, great culture. So Hawaii.
Number
Closer
13.
to the mic when you say that.
Number 13, what is your favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant? I'm gonna say.
And cut. I thought we checked all these devices.
No.
Gives you a chance to think of your
Yeah,
favorite restaurant.
yeah.
Good?
Yep. Wait, I'm not together yet.
And number 13, what is your favorite restaurant?
So I'll have to say it's a restaurant called Marseille. It's in the city. It's on 9th Avenue and 44th Street. So when I first started dating my wife, she lived basically across the street from this restaurant. It's a French restaurant. It's got a really good hanger steak, and they make really good Manhattans there. So it was kind of our one of our go-to spots. when we first started dating, and it's always just it has it has a special place in my heart for that reason. So yeah, I'm gonna say Marseille.
Number 14, what are some of your favorite TV shows?
So okay, This Old House. I love watching. I love watching the home renovations, learning so much about carpentry and plumbing and heating and ventilation. Just seeing these homes go from their original state to the finished product is great. I mean the crew that they have on the show do such a great job. So I love that show. I love a show called Good Eats with Alton Brown. It was originally on the Food Network. Now it's on the Cooking Channel, but it's a real food science heavy show, and it's another show that you can learn a lot by watching. So I think those two are probably my two favorite shows. I don't watch a ton of TV, but those are two shows that I have on my DVR. And then kind of silly old '80s shows like Magnum PI, The A-Team, those kind of like light action shows. Good brain candy when you want to just veg out.
Number 15. Let's try that again. Number 15. If you could choose any superpower, what would it be?
I would probably say, I don't know if, well, let's see. Let me think about that one for a sec. Superpower. I guess I would say, I don't know if this is necessarily a superpower per se, but there are some characters in literature that never age. So I would, I think that'd be great to not have to age and grow old and stay young and healthy.
There you go. Number 16. What or who inspires you?
I mean, my mom inspires me. She was a very hardworking, down-to-earth person who was very centered on her family. She was a nurse for over 40 years. She put myself and my sister through college on her salary as a single parent. So I really look up and admire my mother. I try to, as a new parent, I try to kind of follow in her example, prioritize the things that she prioritized for us with my daughter. So.
Number 17. What is your idea of a perfect day?
Perfect day. Get up early. I'm definitely a morning person. Even on the weekends, I'll still be up at 5:36. Have a cup of coffee, work on a crossword puzzle, and then go out and go to the park. Spend some time outside. Maybe hit a brewery for some food. I'm a big craft beer enthusiast, so I love hanging out at breweries. Coming home and making something for dinner. So steak or pork chops or something like that, if we're indulging. And then watching a movie. That's it.
Okay, number 18. What are some must-haves on your grocery list?
Okay, so like I mentioned before, beans. Oats for sure, because I eat oats just about every morning. I do like cheese, so cheese is usually in there. It's fruits, vegetables, so like berries, apples, pears. I like nuts. So almonds, pumpkin seeds are typical things on our grocery list, and yogurt, and then beef, chicken.
Number 19. What is your self-care routine?
So get up, take a shower, dry off. So no, self-care. I mean, I think, sleep is definitely so important to people's health and mental health. So I try to make sure I get enough sleep. Exercise, again, very important to make sure you're getting enough exercise. I mean, I'll admit, like I don't get as much exercise as I probably should be lately, but it's still something that always trying to make sure I incorporate. Healthy eating, of course. I'm a dietitian. It's kind of part of what I do. So eating, healthy eating, exercise, sleep. Those are, I think, the three foundations of a healthy lifestyle. And then, just taking time to pursue, leisure activities and non-professional interests. I think is good to keep things, keep your mind fresh, and avoid burnout. Yeah, I think that's probably about it. I mean, again, I don't always achieve that stuff on a daily basis, but it's things that I shoot for.
Number 20. What did you eat this morning?
I had oats and coffee.
Number 21. What was your first job?
First, ever employed job. So I was in 7th grade, and a friend and I had a job in a guy's garage who he had some CPR business, and we cleaned CPR dummies. It was a lot of bleach. Our hands were raw from all this stuff, and we got paid. I can't remember what we got paid, but it was not much. But it was on the weekends working out of this guy's garage cleaning CPR dummies. It was interesting.
Interesting. Number 22. What is your favorite book?
Favorite book? I think I have to say The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. It's a story of, it takes place in the Great Depression in the Dust Bowl in Oklahoma. A family is kind of trying to do better for themselves by moving out from Oklahoma to California in search of work in the agricultural industry in California in the 1940s, I believe. But it's a really good book about their journey from driving across country. They're poor people, kind of struggling to survive. It was. I just remember reading that book and being really, really sucked into it. That, and I don't know if I have just one, but another book I want to mention is Into the Void by I think it's John Krakauer. It's a story of this failed Mount Everest expedition. A team that wanted to climb Mount Everest got totally derailed by weather, and it was just a total disaster. But I have never been more sucked into a book than that. I literally could not put it down. I've never read a book faster than that book. Every free moment I had, I was reading this book. I read it in like 3 days or something. It's incredible. So if you have a chance, I would look into it.
Okay. Number 23. How do you like spending your birthday?
Spending my birthday, I would probably like to go camping. I love being outdoors. Camping is so much fun. I just love being out there in the woods and building a fire and cooking over the campfire and going out for a hike. So I'm going to have to say camping.
Number 24. What's one thing people at the hospital would never know about you?
I guess that I don't know. I mean, this is a second career for me. I started off aside from cleaning the CPR dummies, I started my first real career in finance. So I worked in the financial industry out here for about 7 years, and then in 2008, I had the opportunity to switch careers, to nutrition. So I think that's probably something most people wouldn't know about me.
And number 25. What is your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement is, I don't know. I mean, I guess I would have to say just moving out here to New York to kind of start a new life for myself. I've been out here for almost 20 years. It hasn't been easy. If you're not, they say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. But kind of came out here without a job, just had landed an apartment, and kind of turning all that and making it here. I feel like I've done well for myself. I met someone, I have a wife, and now we have a kid. So, I would have to say, yeah. I mean, I guess the kind of the journey that I've been on out here in my adult life, I would say this probably have to be my greatest achievement. I mean, there's not one singular thing that I can point to, but it's kind of just maybe the culmination of everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This has been 25 Questions with Mr. Brian Young.